Okay, so I skipped a few of the days. So I'm going to see if I can at least get them done. Oh, okay. So I'll go backwards. Start with 657 robot return to origin. God. There we go. Alright. There is a robot starting at position 0, 0, the origin, on a 2D plane. So that's like today's problem, where we had plane. Given a sequence of its moves, judge if the robot ends up at 0, 0 after it completes its moves. You are given a string moves that represents the move sequence. Oh wow. Return true if the robot returns. Okay. Yes. Okay. So right. So it's very similar to today's problem. In fact, it's a bit simpler. Vector displacement can be written, or maybe it's better to say, normally, you never want to just start coding straight away, but unless I'm really misunderstanding this, I don't think it's worth our time to be doing that. So how do I want to do this? What's the cleanest way of doing this? Because like in my mind, it's like I could go do something like maybe a hash table where the character up maps to the tuple 0, 1. Character excuse me, sorry. Character cap left corresponds to the tuple -1, 0. The tuple down corresponds to the tuple 0, -1, and the value or key right r corresponds to the tuple 0, 1. That's wrong. 1, 0. Sorry. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so then from there, for m in moves, which will just be a character, I assume, right? So for each move, I guess like the vector that I want is ht at m. We don't have, we know that's ul, d, or r, so I don't have to worry about like hitting a null key or whatever. And then maybe it's better to just be like displacement x, displacement y, and then be like displacement vector at 0 plus equals displacement x, displacement vec1 plus equals displacement y. That's the easiest. And then being like return. Can I say displacement vec equals 0, 0? Can I do that? I think so, right? Python's good with equality between lists. Surely that's it. Like, surely I didn't mess that up. Hang on, let me make sure I use all of the characters. So that should return true. The other thing you can do is make sure that the number of U's is equal to the number of D's and the number of L's is equal to the number of R's, if you want to do it like that. That's like equally valid, because you just want to make sure those directions cancel. In fact, I assume that's what people did. They used the counter library or whatever. Oh wow. How do I, okay, wait, this is a good opportunity to use it. So how to use the counter in Python, because I don't normally use it because I can't be bothered like figuring out how to use it. Yeah, perfect. So if I do get rid of all this, counter of moves, and like move frequency is equal to that, then I just have to return move frequency. How do I access keys? Is it the same way? Oh, wait, what? It's a dictionary, right? Wait, how do I access? Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, so it's like a Sverige dictionary. That's good. Equals move frequency go down, and by similar logic, L equals. If I've used that correctly, hopefully that should be calm. Fair enough. What's 0 milliseconds? What? Oh wait, there's a count. No, but counting would if you use the dot count method. If I did moves dot count, which I think is a thing. Yeah, you could do that. But then you'd have to iterate 4 times, so that does make sense. What are people doing? Oh, they did do that. Really? But you have to iterate 4 times. I guess the construction of the counter is too, like, there's too much overhead in that. I respect that. I mean, same vibes. It's just yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I guess I did overcomplicate it doing all that vector displacement stuff. But same vibes. Anyway, I won't bother cutting. Might as well just move on. So we did the 5th. Obviously it won't tick because I did it too late. Whoa. It's not all robot stuff. Alright. A string original text is encoded using slanted transposition cipher. Wow. To a string encoded text with the help of a matrix having a fixed number of rows. Original text is placed first in top left corner to bottom right manner. So blue. Okay. The blue cells are filled first, followed by the red cells, the yellow cells, and so on. Okay, until we reach the end. The arrow indicates the order in which the cells are, yeah, sure, top left to bottom right. All empty cells, are filled with a space. The number of columns is chosen such that the rightmost column will not be empty after filling in. The rightmost column is not empty. Right, sure. Encoded text is then formed by appending all characters of the matrix in a row-wise fashion. Okay, so you're kind of like tilting your head or something, like I'm assuming this is like the first element, second element, third element, fourth element, and then this is the next row, first element, second element, third element, fourth element, first element, like that. The characters in the blue cells are appended first to encoded cell, then the red cells, and so on, and finally the yellow cells. The arrows indicate, didn't yellow come next? Why is it, does it just, okay. Maybe yellow is just the last one in this diagram, I don't know. The arrow indicates the order in which the cells are accessed. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm really following this or if I'm just like faking it till I find out. Okay, for example, if the original text is cipher and rows is equal to 3, you got cipher and your number of rows is such that, the rightmost is not empty. The blue indicates how the original text is placed. Ah, right. So you really truly read. Okay, sorry. I thought the colors. I thought wrong. You literally read across like this, and you get CH space space space, IE space 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 PR. Okay. So original text does not have any trailing spaces. The test case is generated such that there is only one possible original. So given the encoded text and number of rows. Okay, so you basically fill in the encoded text in the matrix and then read backwards. Or read wait, what? You add these guys and then read down the diagonals. My question though is, rows is only 1,000, encoded text is 10 to the 6. encoded text length is 10 to the 6. So I should be able to calculate, based on the number of rows, I should be able to figure out. Okay. Based on the encoded text length and the number of rows, I should be able to figure out the number of columns, right? And then, do I just simulate it? Seems like I could. Let's just start with that. I don't want to complicate it. All right, let's write this out. So 2075. Oh, yeah. Well, I copied that for no reason. Come on. Well done. No, give me the thing. Oh my god. Give me the thingy. Thank you. All right. So we have this one. So yeah, you'll be given the inputs. They kind of wrote it back to front. I don't know what the heck. Oh, it's my. Sorry, this isn't open. All right. So in actuality, you're given, I guess technically we're given a number of rows, which we'll call R. And we've got, maybe I won't call it R. Maybe I'll call it N or M. Why does it say nows? Number of rows is equal to M, and then you're also given this, the encoded string. Right, so let's say the encoded, let's just do it the first example. So let's say the encoded string is okay. Yeah, let's do that one. So ch space 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 space. It's 3 spaces, yeah. Space space space, yeah. So for example, ch space 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 ie space 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 pr. So then from there, notice that the length of this is equal to 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So you've got 12 characters in here. And the number of rows given, M, they say is equal to 3, which I believe means that the number of columns, which we'll call N, is equal to 12 on 3. That's fair to say, right? Like, is there ever a case where this won't easily divide? I think not. I think that I'll always be okay in that front. So I know that there's 4 columns, and I know there's 3 rows. And I know that it's filled in such that ch happens, then this one, then, oh, another space, sorry, then ie, and then this one, 3, and then pr, right? So in that case, from there I know, like, okay, I'm starting at 0, 0, and then I go down and get these guys, then I move across to 0, 1, I go down, and I go to 0, 2, and I go down, and whatever, right, like until I terminate. And I do that until I hit a... Oh, actually, can there be spaces in the... Encoded text has that, but... I guess you have to keep going. And then you just strip the white space at the end. Like, you do the entire thing, and then you strip any extra white space. That's one way. Can I do it without actually building the matrix then? Because, like, for example, if this is 0, 0, then without really needing to actually build the matrix, I should be able to know that, knowing that I have to go across 1 and then down a row means I have to go 1, 2, 3. I have to go 4 characters plus 1. 4 characters plus 1. 4 characters plus 1. I think that's fair game. So, like, I know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 characters at the start, right, in the first row. So that's like where my arrows will start from. 3, 4, right? So if I have a window like that, I just iterate through my window. And then for each thing in my window, I say, okay, let me start here. I'll do it in green. Let me start here. And then I'll go by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then add 1. and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then add 1, and then I'll terminate. And then I'll go to here, do it in blue. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then add 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then add 1. So the reason why I'm going by 4 is because from whatever position I'm in, going by 4, number of columns that is, will take me down one row. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because it's like a mod 4 kind of thing, like increasing, like going across by n number of characters, where n is the number of columns. Going across by n number of characters is equivalent to going down a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the reason I do an extra 1, right? 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1 is because after going down by 1, I want to go across by 1, so I want to add 1 more character. Is there any position where that won't work? Maybe over here? Yeah, like, because I'll go 1, 2, 3, I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll spill off the page. So if I gotta be careful about my indices. If I spill off the page, that means there's no character. Okay. So I gotta have like an early termination as well for when, for example, here, I've only got 2 characters. Here I only have 1, so there's gonna be a bit of an early termination, or maybe. Okay, so this should work, I think. So I don't actually have to build a matrix. I just have to. So num columns is equal to length of encoded text simply divided by the number of rows. I'm trying to think if there's ever a situation where this won't evenly divide. I think it should always, right? Because it's like the way encoded string was constructed was I took, a matrix with a certain number of rows. I wrote this, I wrote out my elements in the diagonals, and then I chopped the matrix such that the rightmost guy was non-empty. And then I used every single character in this resulting matrix to make the encoding. So every single character. So yeah, the number of rows times the number of columns tells me the length of the encoding, because it's how many grid cells there are. So yeah, this should be fine. The length of the encoded text divided by the rows should in turn give me the number of columns. Good. And then from there, so we're going to look through this particular window and iterate through each letter in that window, because each diagonal starts with one of those characters, right? Like we'll start with the character from the top row. So for I in range num cols, so start is equal to 0. I guess this is like C. Start row is always equal to 0, and start col is always equal to C. Yes. And then I'll say my decoded, original string is equal to the empty string. Start col is equal to I guess I could make it like, can I do that? Is that legal? Maybe not. Not that. Length of the encoded text. I want to make a string where, I can't even modify it. That's fine. I'll just say, yeah, my decoded string or text is equal to the empty string. Start col is equal to C. And then what am I doing? Just saying that, so while C is a valid column, and I guess also start row is a valid row, like just making sure my indices are good. Index is also equal to C. Index referring to the index that's actually like these arrows over here. And index is less than the length of encoded text. Again, just making sure my variable or my index pointers are just valid. So decoded string, I'll append on encoded text at the index. The index, I increase it by the number of columns plus 1. If the index spills past the length of the encoded text, maybe I just break out. Otherwise, it should be a valid thing, and I can say decoded string plus equals no, wait, I should do this first. Plus equals the encoded text indexed at the index. C should increase by 1. No, not C. Let's call it row and col. Row should increase by 1 and col should increase by 1. Do I actually need these variables? Do I use them for anything? And then when the dust settles, hopefully return the decoded string, but with like rstrip or something? Is it that? Copies a string with the trailing characters removed. Yeah. I think that's it. Did it work? Whoops. Oh, my bad. Yeah, while row is this, and while col is this, and the index is that. I never use this though, right? So I can literally just get rid of this. Like, it's just extra stuff I have to keep track of, and I don't even use it, so that doesn't make sense. Oh no. CH? That's rough. I got the number of columns, which would be equal to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I got 4 for that, 100% surely. 12 divided by 3 gives me 12. Decoded string is just that. Well, okay, so C is the number of columns, so we're going, 1 by 1. Index is just that guy, starts at 0. Well, index is less than that. Add it to there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 1. Am I tripping out? Does this not look right? Let me print index equals index, character equals the encoded text at index. Okay. I don't need this break though. Oh, bro. I read it wrong anyway, but it should have been the negation greater than or equal to. I think I back it. I don't know where it could go wrong. Relatively slow. What else would I do? I even did math. Like, I did it where I thought you would do it. You have to access all the individual diagonals and then yeah, I just do a quick rstrip at the end. I'm not really willing to think too much harder than that, to be honest. What's the mode doing? Oh wow, and mod 3. I'm assuming that's because I'm not sure. This guy even had a print statement. For I in range calls, row is equal to... This guy literally built the entire thing. And you're going quicker than me. Seriously? Oh, I should have handled that edge case actually. I should handle these edge cases. But it worked out. I mean, it's still fine. But yeah, maybe you would have shortened some stuff. But L is equal to the length of the encoded text, fine. And then you get the number of columns, yes. And then you built the entire... Wait, am I right? Encoded text is equal to the encoded text from I to I plus cols. I plus cols? What is I? Oh, wait, sorry. Making a 2D list, are you? No, it's 1D. Oh, well, it's like encoded text I up to I plus col. So like 0 up to like the first column. And then... Oh, but you're incrementing by cols, that's why. Sorry, I imagined it was like... I thought it was like 1, like increasing by 1. It's increasing by... Okay, so you're building the matrix, basically. The first column number of characters is in the first row, and then, yeah, you're building the matrix. Then, I mean, you're doing it cleverly, but you're still doing it. And then for I in range cols, RC is equal to 0, 1, row and the column. Yeah, this is what I first was going to do. Like, this was my rows and column, but then I was like, I don't need to do that. Yeah, answers this, and then you increase. Fine. It's the same plan, but which one did I click? 114? It was this one. You're telling me the difference between mine... Am I tripping out? Why is that mine so slow? Let me try this again. Sorry, I just want to see if this is like a leak code being stupid or if... No, it's like kind of insistent. Is accessing the matrix really that much? Wait. No, you also do. I thought maybe because you were appending, I was appending to a string, I thought maybe they were also doing that. Is it really the base cases? Surely not. I'm just trying to think, like, I don't think them using a matrix is actually, like, them actually building the matrix surely is slower. I wouldn't think it's quicker to do it like that, as opposed to just accessing the string directly, unless it is quicker to do that. Okay. I guess, yeah, that's always beneficial to get rid of, like, the small cases in, like, a inspection kind of way. It is quicker, but still... Like, this guy has a print. Like, printing stuff is slow, you know? Like, making I.O. requests or whatever. I'm, like, mildly cheating. But I already submitted. Like, I already got it, so... I'm really surprised. Like, it's like double the time. One more time. Just a test. Yeah, wow. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know. I personally think that not using the not building the matrix up is better. Oh, these guys did it in one loop. But surely you still have to access every character in the encoded text, right? Original text dot append the encoded text at k. If I is equal to number of rows, that is, if you reach the end. Yeah, right? I is like, yeah. I resets to 0. J increases by 1. And k is, you calculate k based on, I assume, I times your current row times... Yeah, so this will naturally actually reset it, which is quite impressive. Because the I goes back to 0, so this will go back to 0. And then you just have plus j, which is how many across you are. Does that work? Cool. Yeah. It's like your offset plus, it's like your offset, how many you offset originally, plus the formula we had, which is, you know, increase by the number of calls, then increase by 1. But you do that I number of times to, because like it's always it's like starting from your starting point, which is j. J is your starting point, and you increase by, like, index j is your starting point, you increase by I times number of calls plus I. That's pretty cool. But again, I feel like computationally, well, actually, the runtime here is 2 milliseconds, so it must really shorten it to do it like that, as opposed to having while loop. But I don't know. I would have thought that you're accessing the same number of elements regardless, but I don't know. All right, I'll stop at this one because I think the last one, I think from memory, I did read through the other one, and it seemed quite difficult. So I assume, yeah, I think I remember looking at this. Did I submit anything? Whoops, not that one. No, I didn't. Yeah, okay. I think this one's us. I'll stop this one and do it again.